Your experience with Mu Sigma help in getting a job in US? How important it is to actually have some amount of work experience before applying for masters?
That's a good question. And I have honestly seen successful candidates taking both paths, right? I've seen people who have had no experience, they've come to the US, they've done their masters and they're excelling right now. I've also seen people who have had experiences and then came here and are also doing well. In my own personal opinion, I feel having a little bit of experience helps, right? Because just if I compare myself with the other people in my group who didn't really have experience, I obviously had a slight edge. So I was able to build better presentations, right? For example, I was able to understand nuances of the data a little more quickly as opposed to the other folks, right? And then eventually when you're giving interviews, right? If you have some experience and if you can talk through that experience and if that experience is relevant for the company that you're applying towards, it really helps you sort of nail that entry level position. And this is the kind this thing that I shared with you is a common sort of sentiment that people who have had jobs in India for a couple of years or 3 years and have come to the US to do their masters have.
Yeah, that's a very prominent question and a point of confusion where people, students are in dilemma whether they should right away go for their masters or get some experience before applying for masters. I think this really helps.
I think just to add there, there's no harm in just not having experience and coming to do your masters here. You're sort of accelerating your career a little bit by not spending that time in a company when you eventually know you want to come to the US and work. The good thing is, and the good news is that there are a lot of opportunities out there. So I haven't seen anyone not get a job. And if you're good at what you do, and if you know your sort of core subjects, I'm sure people get a job all the time. So not to dissuade someone from what I said.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I believe experience always gives you an edge. But in US, I've seen people with experience are valued a little more.
That's a fair point because you can talk about some of the things that you did in real life, right? And also to your point on the industry experience and getting to work in the industry, right? Academics is very sort of like the data sets that they teach you on a very catered to teaching, right? So if you plot a regression line, it will go straight, zoom, right? And it'll explain everything. That's not what happens in the real world, right? So if you know the challenges of data that are present in companies, like every company has a lot of data challenges, right? Half the work is making sure that the data is in a usable format. If you know all of those things and if you've gone through some of those experiences, I think you have a better appreciation of the challenges that the industry might pose, and then you sort of structure your answers accordingly.
Very fair point. I think that's the core difference between not having an experience and having an experience. You really get to the core of the problem and the challenges that you face with the real world data versus the academic data sets that you're working with.
Absolutely. That's true.